Welcome to the Intern Whisperer Live, the show all about internships and how to excel and do well. This is Abby.
This is Matt.
This is Isabella. I'm here. Okay. So reminder, listeners, you can call us live on the air. The phone number is 407-582-2906. You can chat with us online through Intern Pursuit's Facebook live chat. And we are revealing our new brand and the guest artist that designed it tonight.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
So coming up in this episode of the Intern Whisperer Live, we're going to meet Marielle Powell, the winner of our logo contest. And our Wildcard Wednesday topic is the art of visual communication. InternPursuit.tech launched for early sign-up, too.
All right, so people can find us on Facebook. Intern Pursuit is on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And the new logo's on there also, people. You can find us on Intern Pursuit The Game on Facebook and Twitter, and you can listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College Radio. Follow the Intern Whisperer. Follow Intern. Yeah, it's changed now. It says Intern Whisperer, just so everyone knows. You can watch us live on Intern Pursuit, and you can call us live on the air. Phone number is 407-582-2906, and chat with us online through Intern Pursuit's Facebook live chat. And there she is.
Yep.
There's Marielle. Yeah, so people would see that. I don't know, Marielle. I know your mother is out tonight, but hopefully when you get back home, you're going to be able to, she can watch you and she can go, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
So do you want me to go to our first patron?
Oh, do it, please.
All right, our first patron is RB Advisory. RB Advisory offers cybersecurity services to businesses worldwide. They're security specialists for cloud, computer, network, and compliance issues. RB Advisory addresses active threats to organizations, patching network vulnerabilities, and preventing future attacks to your business and information. Their website is rbadvisoryllc.com. Thank you, RB Advisory, for being a patron of the Intern Whisperer. Live.
So later this evening, people can go to the Intern Pursuit blog page to read an interview with Marielle. She is the winner of the Intern Pursuits contest for our new logo, and I know you're going to be pulling it up anytime. It's going to be good with you. I know I said later, but like now we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And people will be able to find out how they can commission her to do additional work. Students, we would love to have you join our startup team and be a part of Intern Pursuit's student influencer or brand ambassador. You can choose between those positions. You can find the job descriptions on internpursuit.tech/careers. And then you can also, we're inviting employers of all types and sizes to be part of our early adopter beta program. It's limited to just a few people. We're about halfway there. And we want to make sure we get the rest of the seven people on board. The early adopter program is one that you get to have a special price, and you also get to tell us where the bugs are, because that's huge. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be people that really like getting the first phone or any of those things. Anybody that wants to have the first.
People that are first in line at the
Yeah, those first in line people. So we're really excited about that. I didn't put this announcement in here, but I do want to make sure I share with our listeners. So Intern Pursuit has made it to the semifinals at Rollins Venture Pitch. There's a $25,000 cash prize. And so I am competing against 12 other companies that are going up there. And that is March 6th. I'll make sure I add that to the notes. Next week, I'm competing for money in Melbourne at Groundswell. And I'm not sure if it's $2,500 or $5,000. Doesn't matter. It's money.
Still good money,
Yes.
Yeah,
Money.
it's all money. And I'm super excited about that. So, all kinds of great opportunities are coming our way here. Now we're going to turn back over to the show. Welcome, Marielle, to the Intern Whisperer. We're happy to have you as a guest on the show.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hello.
And so now we have that new logo up there, and it's so pretty. It's
I
got
love
a
it.
circle around it.
It sure does.
Normally it's in a square, just so everyone knows.
Oh, okay.
But the circle is one that we're using because you have to do circle profiles now on LinkedIn,
Really?
pick everything. Every Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're all circles now.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a pretty new circle. But we do have a place where the square is there, and we have a new podcast cover. By any chance, can you show that also again?
I can show it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
We
would be
opened with
awesome.
it.
We did open with it, but our listeners didn't know because there's some new
Yes.
people on that podcast cover.
So that'll be coming up in just a second.
Yeah, and so those new people on that podcast cover, that was something that Marielle also assisted with. She gave us social icons that are all beautiful, going to make our channel
There
art
we go.
gorgeous.
There we go.
And there we have our logo, just the Intern Whisper logo, and then we have all of these great people, and these are people that have come through and worked with Intern Pursuit clients and also on the game and on the software, and just really great history. But there's two handsome young men that sit across from me.
Well, I don't know about handsome, but
Yeah, well,
they're
Abby
definitely
and Matt,
men.
they're right up there on the cover art
made
now.
it.
We're on the top left corner.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
on the top left side. Yeah.
On the top
Yeah.
left side.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. And Marielle's on there also.
Oh, there she is, right
Yep.
across from Matt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows. Well, if they're listening to our show, they'll know who Matt is. They
Yeah.
should know. They
They
should know
should.
who
By
we both
now,
are.
if they've listened to
Yeah.
more than one episode.
Yeah, I would. Anyway, okay, so we're really excited about the logo, and it's super, super high end. It's really professional, super sleek. So thank you, Marielle. We love it.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
well designed, indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so you're launching as a freelance designer. That's pretty brave, because it's like really hard to be in business.
It's a tough
Yeah.
market, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really, really is. And why don't you tell us, I know that you have more of an interest in illustration. What's the difference between illustration and graphic design? How do you explain it to a client?
Yeah, well, illustration is more hands-on work. It's more you use your drawing skills or any type of. It's sort of like a thumbnail. You don't have to be the greatest artist to draw. You can perceive your idea on a piece of paper or anything like that. But the difference between graphics is that it's more digital,
Mhm.
and so you put your design through a computer and then you design it through. It's more like the colors really pop out that way. But yeah.
You know what, guys? I forgot to share. I'm going to be posting some of her original illustrations and artwork also on the blog article,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
I'll send it over your way. I don't know if you can't pull it down, right?
I mean,
I think you can.
it's possible. I'd have to navigate.
No, that's okay. Never
I
mind.
couldn't-
So if people want to see her super cool artwork, yeah, I was going to say, I forgot to have you guys do this. It's very kind of surreal, kind of Picasso looking when you describe it that way.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. I'll turn it around the room so that I know our viewers can't see
Ooh.
Oh,
it.
it is
Wow.
really Picasso-like.
Yeah.
Can you lower the screen a little bit?
Yeah, here, let me
Yeah.
just send it over there.
Ooh.
There's 4 pictures that you guys can look at, and you can
That is really
appreciate
good.
her gift of
Yeah.
art. So
Wow.
hopefully
Wow, the bird.
this will pique our listeners' interest because they can't see it, and you guys are liking it.
Oh, I love Remy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very
You just drew
talented.
that. That's
Yeah.
I know how to draw a little bit, but this is like next level stuff.
Yeah, but she doesn't do video, and you guys do. So we all have our own gifts, right?
Yeah.
But I really
These are
like
really
her.
good. Try
her
sending
cover
them.
sheet.
Maybe we can pull them up. People should
Yeah.
see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be on the Intern Pursuit blog page for sure.
Oh well, sure.
Yeah, but go ahead. Let me just forward the email to you guys.
Right.
Just a second. Well, Matt, I would send it to Matt, right?
Yeah. And do you use a piece of paper to draw all your designs, or do you have a tablet for that as well?
I use a piece of paper.
Piece
I
of
like
paper, yeah,
doing
traditional?
things traditional.
Yeah, me too. I tried using one of those tablets that you can draw
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
and it's good, but it's super weird because you have to look. You can't really look at the tablet. You have to look at the screen and then move your hand
Yeah.
in
yeah.
correlation with what you're drawing. It's
I
Yeah.
never
Very odd.
tried, but it never seemed as tactile as like using a pencil or a pen. On
I know there's
Mm-hmm.
a new device that you put into a pencil. It's like a little ring that goes around the pencil,
Oh yeah.
and it syncs up with the computer and the program. And
Mhm.
you draw on a piece of paper, but I think what it does, like the little ring reads the type of lead that the pencil has.
Mhm.
So when you're drawing, it shows on the tablet, like on your screen, what you're drawing, but
Oh,
with the
as you're
same
drawing
lead
it.
of pencil. Like if you're using a pen, it'll show the pen. It's very interesting. I don't know if that's real. I've seen a couple ads for it, but it's mostly
Okay.
through Facebook. So I don't know if like
Yeah.
one of those Facebook hoax
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's real, it'd be
Fake
very
news.
interesting.
It might be. It might be. I hope it's real. I could use that someday.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
I sent it to you.
Okay.
So I know that it takes a little bit of time to kind of switch around. So
Mhm.
there you'll be able to do that. Okay. So anyway, yeah, it's really pretty. What I liked about her art, I remember, seeing it. And it was like so filled with a lot of color,
Hmm.
and color's something that I just naturally gravitate to, and I think most people do.
Yeah. Also, I like the different styles that
Yeah,
you
there's
use.
a really
You know,
big
you got
great
your
variety there.
yeah, you got your pencil drawn with Remy, and then you got your Picasso art style, and then you got your
Yeah.
colors and colored pencils with the little hummingbird, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I use
And
like
then the anime inspired art with the woman sitting on a bed, I
Yeah.
presume it was.
at
Yeah.
the piano.
And the
type
piano,
thing.
my
Yeah,
bad.
and that's just like a charcoal, but not
Yeah.
really charcoal.
That was
so.
charcoal and ink. That's what I used in sort of like pencil.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I can only use a pencil. I cannot add color to my drawings. I will ruin them forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am not that talented. When I went to college, I took an art class,
Mhm.
and what we had to do was draw paper bags. They threw them up all on the stage,
Yeah, yeah.
and we had to draw the creases and the lines and the shadows. And I went, well, I'm not an artist,
Mm-hmm.
so but I appreciate it, and I love art classes, so I get it.
They're really fun to take, indeed.
Yeah. So, where are illustrations seen more in the business world? Where is that seen? Because I'm pretty sure I see them on like book covers for sure.
Yes. Yeah, mostly books like maybe books that will teach you how to draw
Mm-hmm.
or any type of thing like that. But I remember if you
Like,
go,
don't you think Harry Potter, that those are illustrations?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
would they be, I don't know, maybe they were done on the computer.
I think those were mostly illustrations.
Yeah.
I think it was because
I really
That's
don't
something that's
know,
like-
and I don't read Harry Potter, but I just remember the artwork was one that seemed more of that type that was illustrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying people use sketches to show their concepts. Like for example, I always liked watching movie developers in studios how they would have their like thumbnails and everything like that. They would post it on the wall and show the movie developers what their idea is to tell a story.
You mean like Mickey
Like a
Mouse?
storyboard?
Yes, a
Sort of,
storyboard.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
forgot.
flip books where
Yeah.
they could make it look like a cartoon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
type
old
of
ones. Yeah.
illustration.
Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, and definitely, yeah, they do illustrate obviously in the video industry. Do you do that at all?
Do what?
Do what?
Sorry.
I know you just did a movie,
Mhm.
Abby.
Oh, we storyboarded our entire film. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got an artist. She's a animation major,
Hmm.
Okay.
and
I could use that person. Send her my way for the game.
I will
Really?
try. Yeah.
Yeah, really. We need an animator. So yeah.
Her name is Catherine Darnell. She's a close friend, and she storyboarded most of the. I sat down with her and went through the screenplay shot by shot how I wanted this particular scene to look, and she drew
Yeah,
it,
that
and
movie
we
was
used
good.
and we
Mhm.
just used like her drawings as inspiration to set up the shots.
Hey,
Cool.
total side conversation here, but is it okay to share your video on the Intern Pursuit blog?
My film.
Yeah,
I'll have to
Not
see
video,
with
film.
CMF.
yeah.
Um,
Check
because
with the rest
I
of the
do
group.
think they keep the rights to it for quite a
Okay.
bit after we submit it. If we're on the final,
the
like
semifinals.
they're tomorrow actually. They're screening the top 16 films at UCF.
Oh,
So
tomorrow
he
night.
made a really cool film,
Oh,
mhm.
thank you.
and he shared it with me on Monday, and it really is kind of, I would say, a little bit more on the suspense side, maybe, but
Yeah,
it
it's
definitely
more of-
has a
it's-
sci-fi kind of feel.
Of course, yeah.
So you might like it also.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about maybe pursuing like storyboarding for film or?
I never thought about it until later on, because that's something I could pursue later on.
Right.
But yeah, I was like more focused on like graphic design, maybe
Mhm.
more of maybe I could go into print production. That's what I'm majoring in. But
Mhm.
I also want to like do a dabble in like web development just for a bit.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Just a side note, I'm going to get those illustrations on the screen.
Oh, super cool.
Okay.
Well, I know everybody's seeing all of that other stuff up there, but that's okay.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, really? Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
They're just seeing
Oh,
us.
They're just
Okay.
seeing us. All right.
Yeah,
we
but
soon,
see
and
that.
soon they'll see the images.
Yeah,
Yeah.
soon.
There they go.
Oh,
Isn't that
okay.
beautiful?
It's sure. I
Yeah.
love
There
the
you are.
colors. What do you use for that? Like, is that like a water paint, watercolor,
Pastel.
pastel?
Those pastels.
That's
Yeah.
like real paint?
Oh, not like
It's more
yeah,
like
it's
a
a little bit of
crayon.
Yeah. it's
yeah,
kind
the
of like
crayon
a-
kind?
Very,
the crayon
it's
kind.
very soft crayon. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Was it oil pastels or the regular ones?
just a regular.
Just regular ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to draw with the oil ones, and that's
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Now, if you were to critique it, if it was somebody else's work, what would you say was really great about it, and what do you think needs to be done on it still? Do you know? Because sometimes I'm too close to my stuff. I can't see my
Yeah.
things I
Yeah.
need to change. Other people have to point that out
Everyone
for me.
can use a second opinion on it.
Yeah.
For
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
To me, it's beautiful, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist.
Yeah, I like the various colors that are being used. It makes the bird more radiant, but I'd say it could be a little more detail could be added to it just to like make it pop a little, give it a little more depth.
Do you consider this
Maybe.
a male or a female? Because you
I-
know, always the males that in peacocks they have all the color.
Well, that's
Well,
I,
it's too
Rob-
well, that's
small
a
to be
humming.
peacock, right?
Actually, that's supposed to be a hummingbird.
No, I
Yeah.
know it's not a
Yeah.
peacock. I get it. But normally in nature, the birds with colors
Oh,
are
they
the
trying to
males.
attract
Oh,
mate.
Right.
They're
yeah,
trying to attract
yeah.
Yeah,
mate.
so I'm going, okay, and this bird looks happy. It looks like it's smiling at me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And did you use any sort of reference when drawing this, or did you just came up with it?
I sort of used the references. I like looked up some inspirations
Mhm.
for it, and yeah, tried to do.
Do you like birds?
Yeah, I like birds. I like the really colorful ones.
I like
It's-
drawing birds too.
Yeah, hummingbirds are my favorite though.
I like cardinals. I love
Cardinal?
cardinals.
Yeah.
They're so
They're
pretty.
my parents' favorite, absolute favorite.
I like hummingbirds. They're like they weigh less than a penny. I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
They're
They're
so
so
light.
tiny.
Yeah.
You've never
Yeah.
seen one?
A hummingbird?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Oh.
All
You-
the
you-
time. You
Well-
see it all the time.
Well, I
Eddie.
used to. There was this
All the
hummingbird that would always visit my grandma's garden when I was a kid,
Okay.
Okay.
and he was always there, and I could just stare at it because it's like it was floating in the air,
Mhm.
and I
Okay,
was
I'm
like,
gonna go to the next
yeah.
picture.
Oh.
Yeah, go the
Mhm.
next one because we
We got a little
admiring
picture
this one.
of Remy from Ratatouille.
That was such a good movie.
It's such a great movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a great movie.
And Pixar puts a lot of thought into their storyboards as well.
Yeah.
They storyboard everything.
and that looks like the real one.
Yeah,
I
you-
mean,
You look at it and you know exactly what it is.
yeah.
I feel like it.
Who it is.
Like, yeah, I knew who it was, but I also feel like, okay, I can't draw, so I would have to do the tracing one, like put the tracing
The
paper
tracing
over it,
paper.
trace it, to make it look like that. That looks like spot on, Marielle.
Yeah, I like the
spot on.
pencil work too with the fur.
Mhm.
I've always had problems drawing fur or hair of any kind.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes that can be tricky.
yeah, but I like you kept it very consistent throughout.
And you guys are film guys, so you would probably notice it more than even myself. That was just a cute movie. I really liked.
Oh yeah, it made me so hungry too.
Yeah.
Oh, because they cooked all the time?
He's a cook
Yeah.
and he cooks like these amazing looking
Yeah.
dishes too.
Yeah.
I was going, wait, you just ate pizza. So, like, why are you hungry? Okay, never mind.
Well, I said the movie made me hungry every time I watched it. I'm not watching the movie right now, so I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
All right.
what's the next one, Matt?
Well, the next one is an image of a woman.
I think this might be my favorite.
Yeah, it's really striking.
Yeah.
It is. It's very, very nice. And it looks true to the body form, you know?
Mhm.
That one was supposed to be an illustration of a rock group called Evanescence. That's the lead. That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
lead singer,
I see it.
Amy Lee. Yeah, I tried to do like an illustration of one of her songs called was it Good Enough? I think that was the name
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And I tried to do like an illustration of it. I remember the music video and I just wanted to make a illustration that represented that type of that song.
Yeah. Great band too.
Yeah.
Really pretty. And there's just such. It's so hard to
The
draw
detail,
the body
yeah, the
form.
the
Yeah.
body form is on point. Like
Yeah. It looks very, very realistic.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the shape of the face and the eyebrows and the eyelashes. really. But then all of the detail that's
And then the hair.
around.
Yeah, the
And the
hair.
perspective, like, there's a real sense of depth to it.
I
And
agree.
so far, everybody's been happy. They all look happy. That's cool. The bird, the hummingbird, and the
Remy.
little
Speaking
Remy,
of
and then
which-
her.
She's really
This one
happy, even
looks
though she has a
sad.
little bit of fire underneath her. Is that fire?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fire. This one's
She's
a,
happy to burn, you know.
Yeah, this one's a little more moody. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's
She
not
looks
as.
happy.
Yeah. Well,
But
well,
it's also raining outside.
oh yeah. Yeah.
And then, ooh, this one's really good as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that one is actually That's one made out of fabric. It's not a like a
Oh,
illustration
wow.
at all. That's I cut out.
Other media.
Yeah, I cut out pieces of fabric and then put them together as a collage. It's a portrait of myself, basically.
wow.
You look
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it too.
But yeah.
It
That
does
looks
look
really
like-
good.
So, when you did that, how you glue it onto a board or canvas or?
I glued it onto like a piece of fabric that's already like cut out. The whole thing is
So
like,
it's like a
put-
canvas, right? And you stretch
Yeah.
it on the frame. Okay.
Yeah, it's like on a board so that it doesn't like mess up. It doesn't mess up really bad or anything like
Mhm.
that. But yeah,
It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
And that, where did you get all of the fabric? Do you just save that up, or did
Oh,
you
I
go
sa-
buy it?
yeah, I saved it up. I would scavenge like look for like any type of fabric that I could use. Usually from like my grandmother's house where
Okay.
she wouldn't be using any fabric, so I just took it and made a collage out of it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Does she sew a lot?
Oh yeah, she does sew, but
Oh. Yeah, because there's like, who's the artist? I don't know if any. Maybe you know, the Kismet, the Kiss. You know that one? The one I'm talking about?
The name sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
The Kiss.
The Kiss.
Can you describe the art itself? Maybe
This reminds me very much of it. It has this various shades of gold, and it has a metallic feel. It does. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mary? Okay, you're gonna have to Google it
yeah.
and see if you can pull it up.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know.
have to look
It's
it up.
Kismet, Kismet, the Kiss, and it's a man and a woman, and they're in an embrace. I would say that it probably looks somewhat Indian. I want to say.
is it this right here?
no, because that's the cover of a musical.
Just a minute. I'm going to show it to you. It's right here.
Okay.
Oh.
This one on the
On the corner.
your left.
I have a picture of that in my house.
That's it. That's the
No.
Kiss.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
No way.
I didn't even know what it was.
There you go. You just didn't know it.
Oh,
I
I
didn't know
see
who
it.
did it. Yeah. So
That's actually really good.
It's a
Gustav.
beautiful, but it's, I love it because of the color. It reminds me very much
Yeah.
of like what I see
I
in
can see, I
Marielle's.
can see it.
And I was wondering if that was part of your inspiration, but if you didn't know the painting, then no.
I didn't know the painting. Really,
Yeah.
I just I like the colors because I was going for like a more Egyptian type of like color style with
Yeah.
Right.
like gold and brown.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I would be hard pressed to say which of the. I really like the hummingbird one a lot because there's a lot of colors, but I like this piece very, very much. And so what I think that our listeners, by sharing some of the art that she can do, is there's a wide amount of variety. It's not just graphic design. It's not just illustration. There's even the fact that you use multimedia with or other media like with
the
fabric.
kiss is coming.
Okay, so it's coming up. But I think that the breadth of your ability is really broad, and I think that's the thing. But that's the painting. That's the one that I'm talking about. It looks very intimate. You can feel the passion.
And the
Yeah.
colors are
Between the
striking,
couple.
and I like the different textures and patterns that you can see throughout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
It's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
However, that's where I was thinking that's where you got your inspiration from.
Oh yeah, I never heard about this painting before,
But now you have.
But yeah, it's good to know that this piece is out there.
Yeah, and
Do some
so
research on it.
Do you guys have any favorite artists of your? Sadly, I really do not know who the artist is that did this piece.
I like Rembrandt.
Yeah.
I like Rembrandt. Just the classical portrait.
I like Ansel Adams. His is all black and white.
That's good.
my favorite artist has a weird name that I'm probably about to butcher. It's Egon Schiele or something like that. I don't know.
What type of art is it?
It's a very weird type of art. I think he has one or two viewer friendly pieces of work. His work is mostly a little bit more explicit, but I love his art. His artwork. I think it's Egon Schiele. I think it is.
We'll have to look it up later.
He's really
who gives
good.
you inspiration, Marielle?
Yeah, this one, of course, the one famous artist, Vincent van Gogh. I really love his artworks. It's really good. And I remember my grandmother had one of it was like a copy piece of the sunflower.
Oh yeah,
one
that's
of those
so
pieces.
well known.
Yeah, she had one replica in her house, and that it was really nice and really inspired me.
Okay.
And I did some more research on Vincent van Gogh, and I really loved most of his artwork, especially that Moonlight one. That's a really famous one.
Have you seen the new movie? There's a movie with Michael Fassbender, I think it is, about Vincent van Gogh. The whole movie is made with his art style. It's animated to fit his art style.
How beautiful.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either, but I heard it's visually striking.
Yeah.
Like the entire movie is like one painting moving because they used his artwork to animate the entire movie.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, I think it got nominated, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
I think it did.
Yeah.
When did you start drawing? I know that wasn't a question, but like when did you first get into art and then it's carried over? That wasn't one that I put on the list.
Oh, yeah.
But it came up just because I remember as a child I would like to draw, and I loved crayons and I loved colored pencils, so I imagine she's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I've been drawing a lot growing up. My parents got me into comic books, and that's what really inspired me to go into like art and illustrations, because I'm a really big comic book fan. I really like people like Jack Kirby, the comic book artist, and Stan Lee, how they can tell stories visually, and that's what really inspired me to be an artist, and especially not just traditional art, but comic book as well. There's graphic
really cool
novels.
That you mentioned Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He did the original Spider-Man comics, the original any of those 60s superhero comics.
Yeah.
He did the artwork.
I read a little bit
I
of
only
comic
know
books,
Stan
nothing
Lee,
that.
and like that's it.
Stan Lee. May he rest in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty cool.
where
What was
are
the
we?
first thing you learned how to draw, though?
I can't remember. It's been so long. Yeah, but
Okay, so like I loved writing when I was a kid, and I wrote stories when I was 12 years old, and I shall tell them. It's called The Adventures of Wendy, because I really wanted my name to be Wendy, and was my name. So I lived vicariously through this character. And honest to goodness, I keep those, and I will go back and I read them, and I laugh so incredibly hard because my 12-year-old self thought they were incredibly good, and they are hysterically bad.
Yeah.
And I just laughed so hard. I went, oh, my God, I cannot believe I honestly thought this was good. So it's the same thing. Did you keep any of that art from when you were a kid and look at it now?
I did keep one piece. I remember making drawing of a tail of a fish. It's sort of like a loosely based off of like Finding Nemo or anything like that. Actually, it might have been before, but yeah, I drew a picture of a fish that was swimming around, meeting new friends. That's when I was really little. I thought it was cute to like have a little goldfish swim through the sea and find like sea friends.
Okay,
I can't remember
sounds a lot
name.
like Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
But it was one of those like kitty type of things, where,
Right.
like I can't remember the name of it, but I have to look at it again. But yeah, I remember.
Did you keep it? You still have it?
I still have it. Yeah.
I remember the first thing I learned how to draw was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I created my own character that looked almost like Sonic. His name was Von the Pirate.
Oh really?
He didn't have a leg, but he still ran just as
Was he a
fast as
hedgehog pirate?
Yeah. He sure was. He had a bandana and everything, like a wooden stool, because he didn't have a leg.
I just tried to draw elephants because they were my favorite animal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were they good looking?
No, it was like a oval with a line for a trunk and then 4 lines for legs.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. So it's kind of funny when we look back and we see you can really see how much you progressed, right?
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
that's the takeaway of it.
yeah.
For sure.
It's funny.
Yeah.
And thank goodness there's parents that keep that kind of stuff, because it probably wouldn't make it into any
No.
museum unless
And my mom has a binder with all the drawings that I made when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and there are
Mhm.
some really bad ones.
and like, whatever videos you may have done when you were like really
Yeah,
really,
sadly,
really
one of
young.
those still exists. I tried to delete the evidence because they're so bad.
No, you shouldn't, because you're going to really, what is that show, The Goldbergs, where it's the kid that he makes all of these videos when he was young, but now he's grown, and he now has a television show all about when he was a kid making movies.
Look at that. That could work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should go look at it, The Goldbergs.
I'll-
It's pretty fun.
If I run out of ideas, I'll just make a movie about myself making movies when I was younger.
Yeah, but they have all of the videos that he did, and they all had themes. There was one like Star Wars, and then there was one about just pick whatever the movies are that have influenced you. He had a series. There was a weekly series about that one thing.
Oh, wow.
That's
okay.
cool.
Yeah,
Pretty cool indeed.
yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering, did your parents ever put your pictures on like a sticky magnet on the refrigerator?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I had an obsession with drawing roses when I was like in 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
You know, the Ed Hardy roses. It's a brand, and I just drew those roses all over. My mom
Oh.
has like more than 100 drawings of just the same rose, and she just kept them.
I did that too.
Oh, yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, I guess we all learned rose drawing when we were
because
in
when
school.
the first time I drew a rose
Yeah.
and it looked good, I lost my mind. I was like, I am gonna be an artist.
yeah.
I'm gonna draw real people tomorrow. You see?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay,
right.
so Marielle, what kind of clients would you want to engage with? Is there a particular industry? Is there something, because I know that you're relatively young launching into this. So what type of clients are you seeking? And what kind of work would you want to do?
I don't have any like particular client I would ask for. I was hoping to work for Disney and sort of work in their animation or some type of graphic design industry, and hopefully do some work there. But yeah, I heard it's really tough to get into
It's very
Disney.
competitive.
Yeah.
So
Disney,
at
yeah.
least you would have to at least know some people or do some extra work.
Or you can stand out as well too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot of contract labor. That's what I've heard from people that have worked with me on the game team. Whether it's animators or graphics, there will be some that they have that are in-house, and those people are years and years of experience, but then they'll contract work with, relatively, younger experienced people. And that's how I think they test them out to see if they want them to join the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disney is a good goal. But remember, there's also Universal, and there's more than one park in Orlando. Is
Yeah.
the point?
Yeah, I was hoping to actually I could try Universal, maybe see if they're available for any graphic designers. I've tried, but
They
I'm still-
contract. They also do a lot of contracting. I know somebody that's the head of HR over there, and that's what she's told me. And most of their artists, whether it's actors or singers, whatever, and other types of art, they contract them. So you can apply. You should always apply.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
look
try
at my
that.
mom.
Oh, that's your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom.
Oh,
Hi,
Hi
mom.
there, I love you. She loves you, Abby.
Yeah, she loves me. Hi,
Yeah.
mom. We're just talking about you and all the drawings you have of.
Do you
That
want
I
me to
made.
write a response on
Yeah,
behalf
sure.
Yeah.
of you?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Say
That's
thank
all.
you for tuning in, and Abby loves you too, or something like that.
Well, if she's listening. She heard it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right. So industries. Some industries that I think would be relatively easier than the entertainment industry to tap into is working in that startup world, which you've come down into the office there. That's a good way to be able to get some. You're not going to get paid a lot, but you'll definitely be able to build up your portfolio more by talking to others that are in startup world that need work done, because they send it out to Fiverr. But you know what? It's always nice to work directly with a person. So I would encourage you to, network around that office and other places where there are startups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because not everybody can do. I know I can't do. The reason why we had the previous logo was because all I could draw was stick people. And I went, well, then stick people, it's going to be the logo. And now it looks way better, so much more professional. So I'm excited.
It sure does.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, how can people reach out to contact you for work? Do you have any social media presence or?
Email account you want to share?
Yeah.
Yes, people can reach me on LinkedIn if you search my full name, Marielle Powell. And I also have, if people want to email me, they can email me at, it's mrllpwll@gmail.com.
You type it in the notes and then I'll send it out.
Yeah, well, we'll put that in the comment section of our video so
Yeah.
people can contact you.
Yeah. And I also have artwork displayed on a website. It's called behance.net in case anybody wants to look at my work and see what's
awesome.
available.
Your family's just lighting
Oh
up the
yeah,
show.
my family's tuned in for the show.
Yeah,
Hi, Grandma.
Matt, your parents, they've got to bring the game here now.
They don't Facebook.
You're going to have to let them log in on your account, like have it all set up so that they can watch it.
I would have to. Like I showed my mom Netflix the other day, and I was like, all right, promise me you'll try it.
And then they can go and watch it. Oh, no, what happened?
I have no idea.
There we are. We're back.
We're still
that
good.
was something on Facebook's end, I believe.
Yeah. We're good.
Our stream is back live. Yay.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're good.
Well,
Yeah,
my heart definitely skipped a beat for a minute.
Yeah.
I
for
just
a moment
saw
there, I
his
was like, "What?"
I looked at his face and went, "What happened?" At Matt's face. I went, "Oh my God." Okay. Anyway, so let's do that email address one more time. Maybe you can type it into the chat. I don't know. Can you do that?
We can add it to the description
I'd rather do it
later. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
of my nearsightedness, I might
Gotcha.
misspell it.
Yeah, we can add it and it'll be there on the
Very
description.
good. Very good. All right. So let's go to our wild card Wednesday. Well, you know what? I know we've kind of done kind of a longer stretch, but let's take a little switch over to a patron break and then go into our wild card Wednesday conversation. You know what? I forgot to tell you guys. I'm going to be on a live AM and FM radio show next month.
Oh yeah, you told
You
us.
told us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Good PR.
And I looked at I went and looked at how they set it up, and they did 12-minute segments, and then they did a break in 12 minutes, and then they did a break. And they broke it into different types of categories. I went, oh, that's a good idea. We should do that.
We should probably start implementing.
Yeah,
that.
we're doing it now.
All right, cool.
We're not
So
trying, we're gonna do it.
our second patron for the night is Simplicity Solutions Group. Simplicity Solutions Group specializes in web design, development, hybrid mobile, and custom web apps built on proprietary application framework. They help businesses thrive in the digital age, from web design to records management software. Their website is simplicitysolutionsgroup.com. Thank you, Simplicity Solutions Group, for being a patron of the Intern Whisper Live.
Okay, so I'm going to totally mess with this. Yeah, so don't be panicked here.
Okay.
It's like coming out, and I'm going to move it so for next week's show, we have it in the right place.
Oh.
And then we don't have to try and remember this next week. You know how it's so hard. This is the beauty of show notes, right? So we can just have
We
our
just
stuff
moved
there.
it
Boom.
up there. Okay, cool.
And we just did our music transition. And
Oh.
thank you, Sophie Lloyd, for all of that beautiful music. I always say that. Okay.
It really adds to the show. It
Yeah.
goes perfectly with it.
Yeah.
So it's a good companion piece.
She's on a 2-month leave of absence. I'll be glad when she comes back. And Aaron also, Aaron McDonald, our project manager. We miss you, Aaron. All right, so Wildcard Wednesday. Now, Abby, go ahead and say it all over again. What's the topic?
Oh, the topic is the art of visual communication.
Yeah, I had to go look that one up because I was using that and I as a term when I was talking with Marielle, and I went, you know how everything is so highly visual now, and
Yeah.
people communicate. It seems like we're moving back into hieroglyphics, is the way I was seeing it.
Oh,
in
interesting
Egyptian
take on
times.
it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And I was thinking, well, if we are not using words as much in our communications and we use videos and also way more graphics and being able to communicate, I went, gee, that seems like visual communication. So I Googled it and I went, Is there a definition? And it is a trend where graphic design is not being used. It's not being called that. It's called visual communication.
Well, you have it here as defined as a creative process that combines the visual arts and technology to communicate ideas.
Yeah.
It begins with a message that, in the hands of a talented designer, is transformed into visual communication that transcends mere words and pictures.
Yep. And I cite the source. It came from a school. But
Yeah.
there was a ton of stuff on 2 pages. Like if you go on Google on the first page and the second page, visual communication. So it's definitely a new trend. Are they using that term in the schools? Have you heard the professors describe it that way, or do they call it graphic design still?
They still call it graphic design. I haven't heard that term in a while, but
I haven't either. Does it use it a lot in business?
Like I said, I Googled it, and I went, well, it's coming up on the first 2 pages, so it seems to be something that's trending.
Yeah.
It did appear to have like 2016, 17, and 18. I wasn't trying to see if there was a span of time, but I've seen that. So
Yeah, I've heard of audio-visual communication, but visual communication, I've never really heard that
but
term
it makes
being
sense,
used.
like infographics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very self-explanatory. It hasn't caught on yet. I believe.
The new term.
Yeah.
It's kind of like last week when we were talking about power skills. Power skills is the new word that's replacing soft skills. So I believe it's going to continue to trend that way. Because it also sounds very technology-based, which I think is different. Graphic design sounds more like art-based.
Yeah. I feel visual communication is used more for businesses.
Yes.
Because I feel like nowadays people are inclined to engage with their crowds or their target demographics visually instead of verbally. Because, they got so much to look at right now with all these technological advances that you need to, catch their attentions first.
Example
Yeah.
you shared earlier about how you can put a pencil in there and then it...
Yeah. There's so
amazing.
much to do and so much to look at. You got to really pique people's interest. And I think visually is the best way to go about it.
So one of the things I wanted to explore even more was statistics. Like, what are the statistics out there about how this type of communication method is being used in marketing? So, Marielle, what do you... Go ahead and read out of our show notes that first one that's up there. This one.
Oh, okay, yeah. 32% of marketers say visual images are the most important form of content for their business, with blogging in second, 27%.
Yeah. And I was wondering, do they discuss this in school? Do you guys talk about these kind of statistics?
Not really. We haven't really discussed these type of the percentages or anything like that. So we haven't really gone into it that much.
Yeah, 32%. That says a lot there. Yeah. And I know video is 90% of the video that's going out now is in marketing. It's big. Video is super big. Yeah. Anyway, I'll do the second one. 80% of marketers use visual assets in their social media marketing. Video is 63%, and has also surpassed blogging by 60% in usage. I definitely see the video. I always see anything that's in the art realm. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but I don't think anybody puts anything out there that doesn't have a color. Like if you put a post on Facebook, you automatically can pick a colors to make it more appealing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't see it on just a post with white.
Right. No, you can create your own.
Yeah.
For your certain moods and yeah. I was reading the next statistic and it's very interesting. It says when people hear information, they're likely to remember only 10% of that information 3 days later. However, if a relevant image is paired with that same information, people retain 65% of the information 3 days later. And I think that's so true.
It is true because in education, we know that the more of your senses that you engage, the visual, the auditory, and the kinetic, the hands-on, it helps to reinforce learning a great deal in a user. So it makes total sense.
Well, and each kid tends to gravitate toward one, so you're...
One more than the other, but when you use all three, it's like
it hammers at home. Yeah.
And that's the key for it. So we can definitely see a big improvement in how that can help with brand awareness. When I used my business card and I hand it out, I tell a story with it, and I relate the story with the colors to make it so that people will remember not just the shape is different, but also the colors and the story, so that they would come back to me. It helps.
Right.
It really, really helps. Yeah. Matt, you're up.
All right. So 1% more B2C marketers.
You know what that means?
No. I was going to
Business
ask
to
you.
consumer.
Okay. Then I'm going to assume
Business to
B2B
business.
is business to business. Yeah.
Okay, start over. So,
So
I
1%
interrupt you.
more of business to customer marketers than business to business marketers say visual content is the most important type of content today.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
there's like not much of a variance there, right?
Yeah. it's
So
just-
B2C and B2B, it's still the same because we're talking about humans,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you go into the store and you think about where's that favorite, whatever your favorite cereal is or whatever your favorite product is, you know, the colors, the design, it all plays a big part, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
sticks in your mind.
And where it's placed on the shelf. You may
That's-
not see it at the bottom.
That's why kids' cereal is so colorful and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Crunch. I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
Totally bad, but
peanut butter crunch is what popped into my mind.
really? No, Captain Crunch with crunch berries.
I'm more of a cinnamon toasted crunch type of guy. So
What about you?
Cocoa Krispies is my favorite. But
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good
Interesting.
choice.
Yeah.
Chocolate. You can never go wrong
see,
with
Yeah.
chocolate.
they're doing it now. I just see the images popping into my head.
Really?
That's good design and good marketing right there.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. Well, you're up on the next one.
Which is 51% of business to business marketers prioritize creating visual assets as part of their content marketing strategy. So
51%, more than half of them. Yeah,
Make it a
and including
priority.
that in there.
Mhm.
Content marketing, just so our listeners know, it's built around blog articles. It's any of those social posts that are going out, anything that's helping to promote the product and out there in the market. What's so amazing to me is that we used to, before we had the internet, which is really not that old, we used to market just through either magazines, TV, or radio, right? And then there were, flyers that you'd get in the mail. However, now with the introduction of social media through internet, we have so much more that's going on. And
Yeah.
you have to think about it. We're constantly bombarded by
So
advertising.
It's even harder to stand out when there's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all screaming for your attention, no
Mhm.
matter what it is. All right. So I know we have like a minute left, and we're going to end up having to.
Don't we have an extra 5 minutes now?
We do, but you know how much longer it takes us once we do all of our shout outs and
Yeah.
all of our other
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up having to like move through these pretty quickly. I'm going to do this one. Mobile video usage has increased. Mobile, by phone, has increased by nearly 10 million daily views a minute, daily viewing minutes in the last 2 years.
I've definitely noticed that trend.
Everyone has
Yeah.
a phone.
And everybody's people are starting to market their products through YouTube with the ads. So
Instagram, you can
it's
do videos
definitely
on Instagram.
it's definitely working because I can't play a YouTube video without at least 50 ads playing before it.
Facebook
Yeah.
ads.
Yep.
Go through. Okay, you're up.
Right. Cisco projects that global
Projects. Yeah.
projects that global internet traffic from videos will make up 82% of all consumer internet traffic by 2021. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, I embedded those infographics. They're separate, but, nonetheless.
Okay.
We can skip those. We'll probably have to skip it anyway.
Right.
Eye tracking. You're up.
All right. Eye tracking studies show internet readers pay close attention to information-carrying images. In fact, when the images are relevant, readers spend more time looking at the images than they do reading text on the page. I believe that 100%.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but like my attention span is like in the movie Up, where the dog sees a squirrel,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I think.
And I
almost
think part
everybody's
of
like
that is this kind of culture of being bombarded with all these things.
Yeah,
adds to the
we have
sense
so
of-
much to look at that it really needs to be interesting what we're looking at. So that's why
High
businesses
quality.
are aiming for a higher quality and a more engaging type of marketing and promotion.
Yeah.
That just
And
I'm
well,
used to.
sorry guys, I'm going to cut it off here.
Yeah.
But Marielle, we want to thank you for being a guest on the show. Again, tell our listeners where can they come and find your website.
Oh, they can find me on LinkedIn.com. Just type in my full name, Marielle Powell, and you can also email me, of course. And I have artwork on behance.net in case you want to look at my artwork. And you can just type in my full name in the Behance. And that's
Okay,
it.
shout
Awesome.
outs real quick. Abby.
Right, quick shout out to my family. Thank you for tuning in, Mom and Grandma. And yeah, my mom's favorite cereal is Cocoa Pebbles. Apparently, she just said
Okay.
that.
She's joining us in there.
Yeah.
Matt, you're up.
Mom and Dad.
All right. Even
Old
though they're not
classic.
listening, we thank them. Okay. Have you figured this out? A shout out to anybody that you want to acknowledge on the show?
Yes, I'd like to have a shout out to my mom in case she's listening in.
Okay, that's cool. What's your
Um,
mom's name?
Melissa.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my shout out goes to everybody that I get to work with. I'm so thankful, but especially to Marielle because she gave us this most beautiful logo out of. It was competitive, and it was really a nice process. So people can find us on Facebook, Twitter. You can listen to us live on mixlr.com and also on Facebook Live. And as we close the show, we want to thank you, our listeners, for listening and watching our show. Thank you.
All right, take it away, Matt.